We have just attended a session on Ind AS at Exim Bank conducted by Parag. It was extremely informative and a very good experience for everybody, including those who attended the session on behalf of Exim Bank. We are very thankful to Parag for having invited us to attend this learning session. Thank you.
First of all, a very big thank you to Parag and Ind AS Labs for having us here today for the Exim Bank Ind AS training for the top management and executives. We touched upon various topics today, some of which, to put it in brief, were on property, plant and equipment, government grants, how to account for the same, also effective interest rate of return, and of course, last but not the least, the expected credit loss model. The expected credit loss model has been causing a lot of consternation. It has been causing a little bit of confusion also in the industry because it's something that each party or each corporate has on its own effectively. Of course, provisions were always there in the past, but expected credit loss is coming out to be a totally different ball game. However, hats off to Parag and his team. They explained it beautifully. It was very good. It gave a whole new perspective on how to go about advising our clients as well as the banks and the corporates that lends from them. In addition to that, as Parag rightly said, Ind AS is not only about comparing apples to mangoes. If you want to compare, you need to compare apples with apples or mangoes with mangoes. So the decisions that are taken at the time of transition to Ind AS are the most crucial. How you elaborate on those decisions, how you choose to represent them to all your stakeholders, including your lenders and shareholders, is what will really make the financial statements. Having said that, of course, one day is too short a time to learn everything on Ind AS, but Parag has also given us a beautiful book which we hope we'll be able to read up on and maybe get back to him and the team with our queries later. But thank you so much, Parag, for having us. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Samuel Joseph. I head the HR, Treasury Resources and the IT functions within the Exim Bank. Earlier, I used to head the corporate banking business of the bank as well. We have been engaged with Ind AS Labs for the last 3 sessions. In fact, in 2 different formats, I'll say. For the credit officers, we had a detailed program, a 3-day program where each of the provisions of Ind AS has been covered in detail, and for the senior management of the bank, there was a 1-day program today where including the managing director and the deputy managing director and all the group heads, that is the CGMs and the GMs, attended the program. The sessions were really interesting, very rich in content, and also it was case study oriented, as Ind AS Labs Mr. Parag Kulkarni and Mr. Tirthraj Koth had analyzed almost 200 balance sheets which have already implemented Ind AS and had done a sectoral study of each of the provisions impacting such sectors and covered it in a case study format. So we found it really practical, useful for our decision making, because many a times when we sit in our credit committees analyzing balance sheets, we are really confused, I should say, as to the impact of the various provisions of Ind AS, wherein net worth has gone up or current ratio has increased, decreased, so on and so forth, which was really difficult for us to comprehend. But I should say, after this program, we should be in a better position to understand the impact of Ind AS, or at least to ask intelligent questions to our credit officers who will be presenting such financials to us. The 3-day format covered it much in detail for the credit officers, and a lot of them have appreciated, have given very positive feedback about the course content. Also, what we liked was it is just not a 3-day or a 1-day program, as we also have access to the e-learning modules that Ind AS Labs has developed. So it will be an ongoing exercise of learning and capacity building within the bank, I suppose. We really found the content very, very useful. Thanks to Ind AS Labs, specifically to Mr. Parag Kulkarni and Mr. Tirthraj Koth. Thank you.